Welcome, yogis. Jacqueline here. It's our final week of Mindful Mondays in May. Thank you so much for joining along with this series and for the positive support. We're going to keep this going through the next couple of months. And with that said, most of these weeks, the guided meditation has kind of guided the theme for the yoga practice. If you joined the meditation this morning, it was about building energy. It was an energizing practice to start the day. Since it's the end of the day here, we're going to do a little bit of the opposite. This is going to be a practice to help us wind down. With that said, you might want to grab some props just to make some postures a little more comfortable and relaxing. Blankets, blocks, if you have those, pillows, whatever you have around you that you can use. We want to begin by sitting comfortably, so that might be just coming into a cross-legged seat. You might sit up on a blanket, you might put support under your knees, and there's even the option too, if it feels the most comfortable to you, you can have your legs just extended straight out. Just taking a moment to find a comfortable seat. And then we'll take a moment for centering. So as you get settled in, close your eyes or gaze out towards the tip of your nose. Let your awareness begin to turn within. So much of our day, our attention gets pulled away, outward in every direction. And when we're on the yoga mat, it's a unique opportunity in that we can kind of turn things around. We can reflect within. And that might be easiest to begin by noticing how your physical body feels as you sit here today. As you notice any aches and pains and any areas of your body that already feel open and relaxed, you can let that inner awareness guide you a little bit deeper, focusing on your breathing. Feeling the breath as it enters the body, and following the breath as it exits the body. And then that breath awareness can take us to those inner layers. Start to connect to that inner calm and peace. And we can relax, winding down this evening. I'm going to take a few deeper breaths here. Remember that deep doesn't have to be forceful. You can breathe gently and deeply. After your next exhale, begin to slowly flutter open your eyes. Let yourself readjust to the light. We're going to bring our hands onto our lap. We're going to do some seated cow and cat, and you might choose to remove any props that you have, or you're welcome to keep them where they are. And I'm just going to rotate myself to the side to see the spinal movement that's happening here. And so for our seated cow and cat with our hands at our lap, let's think of starting really at the base of the spine here, starting to arch forward. And as the tailbone tilts forward, that movement continues. This arching, lifting, kind of forward pulling of the spine, vertebrae by vertebrae, all the way up. Your heart lifts, let your shoulders relax, your chin will lift. And then essentially the opposite of that, we're going to again start at the tailbone and start to find this rounding, this tucking in, this opposite movement, vertebrae by vertebrae, all the way until the chin is tucking down towards the chest. I'm going to go just a little bit faster, but continuing with that inner awareness of really working your way up the spine as you arch forward. Working your way up the spine as you round back. We'll do just one more round of that cow and calf. And as you return into an upright seat, we'll extend our legs out, and feel free if you're sitting on any props to keep those underneath. Or alternatively, if you need to grab anything to place under your hips, you can. And so we just want to come into this position with our legs extended out. You can even have a little extra support under your knees and thighs if that feels needed. Remember, in this practice, we're really trying to wind down. We want to be able to relax. So encourage the use of props here so that you're not having to put forth as much effort and you can experience a little more ease. This next pose that we're going to be doing, excuse me, is a caterpillar. So it's very similar to forward fold, but as you can imagine, we're going to kind of just go down slow. So see if you can bring your hands to the floor, or maybe your hands come to some sort of props like blocks or even books if you've got something like that nearby. Taking a breath in, as you breathe out, let your chin tuck down. Again, breathe in. As you breathe out, let your shoulders start to relax, rounding forward. Breathing in, and as you exhale, continue just to fold as deep as it would feel appropriate for you in this practice. And you'll press into your hands, and we're going to kind of slowly come out. We'll lift up a couple vertebrae, breathing in, and then relax, soften down a little bit as you breathe out. So just kind of working up slowly, step by step. You're going to inhale, lift a little bit, and exhale, lower about halfway. Continue with your breath, maybe 3, 5 more rounds of breath should get you back to sitting. And as you do come to that upright seat again, just place your hands on your lap, maybe with the palms facing up. Kind of letting the body absorb the gentle effects of that posture. And then this kind of pause, taking our time in between the poses, will also help to cultivate this winding down and relaxing and calming of our energy. So we're going to do one more sitting posture here. Let's come into a wide-legged seat. Like the other sitting poses, if you want to have that extra support under your hips, you're welcome to do that. It's kind of a straddle position with your legs, and they can be as far apart or as close as you feel that you need. My apologies if you're local to me. You've been experiencing this weather, hot and cold. My allergies they're just taking ahead. So thank you for being considerate, understanding that we cough, things happen in our yoga practice. And anything that ever comes up for you, you don't have to try to resist and hold back. Let it out. Now we're going to do like a head to knee pose from the straddle. So we're going to be doing both sides here. You might start with the right. What you want to do is bring one hand to either side of your leg here, and it's a slight rotation of the upper body. So we're going to be turning the chest towards the leg and then walking the hands down to fold. And so you might be able to reach hands to the feet. Hands could be more at the thighs. It's really taking what you need here. And day by day in our practice, we're always changing, so we practice compassion, non-judgment. And in this pose, let's take 3 deep breaths. Try to relax around your hip creases and try to not be holding so much in the lower body. Let your legs relax. And after that 3rd breath, we can start to lift ourselves up by walking the hands towards the hips. Rotate the body here, and we'll repeat on the other side. So we're turning towards our left leg. You've got hands on either side of your leg here. And you gently fold, hands crawling down. And one thing that can help with winding down is letting go. So trying to not hold so much tension in the pose. Especially if you're practicing this live, it's the end of the day. I'm sure you've already been working really hard. Let this be a space where you can work a little less. Let yourself relax. A couple more breaths here. And we'll walk our hands back towards the hips. And we can just come back to a seated position here. The next couple of poses that we're going to do are going to be bringing us onto our belly. So make sure that you've got plenty of space around you. And as you come down, you might go ahead and just prop yourself up on your elbows. And be mindful here, the elbows might be directly under the shoulders. If this feels uncomfortable in your back, you could have your elbows maybe a little more forward or a little more out towards the edges of the mat. And we're going to come into what I like to call the TV watching pose, where we're propped up on the elbows and your palms are going to come underneath your chin. Once you're in this position, you might move the elbows. Again, they could go a little more forward. That might lessen the intensity of the back bend. You might feel that you want to come in a little bit closer. So take what you need. Let your face be held very gently and lovingly in your hands. Let's take 5 breaths here, winding down and relaxing. And after that, we're going to go into a reverse savasana where you can just let your hands stack, one on top of the other. Resting your head on your hands here, we'll just take a few deep breaths. Then we're going to be rolling over. So the rest of the practice is going to be reclined. If you would like, you might grab a blanket or pillow and give your head a little extra support. And as you come onto your back, you can lift both knees towards the chest, one hand to each leg, and maybe rock gently. Then centering yourself here. Take both hands to your left knee, extend your right leg down. Take your heel all the way to the floor here. Relax your shoulders and let that left knee gently hug in. Taking about 3 rounds of breath. We'll switch sides here. Hug up the right knee towards the chest. Extend the left leg, heel to the ground. Relax across the collarbones. 3 rounds of breath. And hugging both knees in towards the chest, give yourself a nice good squeeze. And then extend the legs completely so your feet will come to the ground. You're going to straighten your legs out. From there, reach your arms overhead and we're going to move into a banana shape. Moving the feet to the bottom right corner of the mat. Moving the hands to the top right corner. So you find this nice little side body stretch through the left. 3 rounds of breath here. And as you're coming out, move through the middle, and you can go ahead and walk your feet to the bottom left corner and your hands to the top left corner. Repeating that stretch for the side body. And after 3, we'll release, returning to the center here and letting the hands lower down beside of you. We'll bend our knees and take the left ankle, cross it over the right knee for pigeon pose. Or you can either stay here or you might lift the right leg and pull the right knee in towards the chest. We'll take 5 breaths here. Let yourself relax and soften into each of these poses. After 5, we'll release and repeat on the other side, where you're going to cross your right ankle over your left knee. Taking any of the variations of pigeon, where maybe you're lifting the left knee to you. Perhaps the left foot stays on the floor. Set yourself up in a way so that you can relax. After 5 rounds of breath here, we'll release both of our feet to the ground. Have your knees bent. Find a cactus arm position. This is where your elbows are going to be bent. Fingertips are kind of pointing up towards your head. And then with your legs, come into a windshield wiper motion, letting your knees fall from side to side. After you've done a few of those, we'll set up in our Savasana pose. And so typically that's where we're just lying flat on the back. But I'd encourage you, if you've got blocks, blanket, even a pillow nearby, find some kind of support that you can place underneath your knees. And so you'll be lying on your back with a little support for the knees. And as you come into that position, just allow yourself to relax and settle in. This morning in our meditation, we were connecting with how we can feel energized while at the same time calm. And here we just want to deeply connect in with that calm inner peace. No matter what the day had brought us, no matter what tomorrow might bring, right here and right now, this is a place of calm. This is a place of inner peace. Continue to breathe deeply. So no matter what draws our attention outward in our lives and in our day, we always have this opportunity to turn our attention within, to connect to that inner space of stability, of calmness, and serenity. And I hope that in connecting with that space here today, it helps you to fully wind down and relax from your day. Feel free to stay here longer. Life's duties call you. You can go ahead and slowly start to make your way out of your Savasana. Find a comfortable seat if you are exiting the pose. Just take a moment of pause wherever you are. Blessings to you. Namaste.